Warning! This program contains strong adult language, violence, and brief nudity. It's everything you're looking for.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Whispers Radio here on AM 1240 WLSC Tiger Radio. You can check us out online, tigerradio.com. Check out UPRN, the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, at paranormalradionetwork.com. And check out my website, whispersradio.com. I want to jump right to our guest, because it looks like we got a lot to cover, and we got a lot of fun stuff that we can play. My guest tonight is Miss Nicole Beauchamp. She is with Tri-County Ghost Hunter Society. Nicole, you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, how's it going? How are you? Good. Sorry for the
going pretty good.
Sorry for the late call. That's totally my fault. I was late getting here to the studio, setting everything up. So I will take responsibility for that one.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
So, what's going on tonight?
Well, I want to talk about your group. I want to find out what goes on. You guys have been doing a lot of stuff. I see you're very active. That you do a lot of things, and I just want to touch on a lot of that, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Well, tell me about your group. Where are you from? What do you do?
Well, we were founded in the Tri-Cities of Michigan, which is Bay City, Saginaw, Midland area. And we started on July 16th of 2009. In accordance to being a paranormal group, we also are a historical preservation group. So we specifically seek out locations to give money back, put money back into those locations so that they can remain standing for our children to see and, future generations. So that's something that I think that sets our group apart. Other groups.
That's cool. Do you charge, I guess, for your services?
We don't. We're completely free of charge. Everything is funded by our own paycheck.
That's pretty cool. I think that's the most honorable, I guess, of the ghost hunter profession out there, that everything is for free. Do you just go to like the big places? Do you go to people's homes as well?
We definitely do both, but I think we're trying more to break away maybe from doing homes, just because for many reasons. I mean, I don't want to get too specific here, but also I think that some of these larger places are just a little bit more interesting to investigate, and I hope I'm not like stepping on anybody else's toes in the group when I say that, but that's just like my personal opinion. I just think it's more interesting. You definitely know that there's history at, like, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum or Waverly Hills, and it's just more of a rush, and I just feel like you can get maybe more evidence from those places.
So you're really into it for the historical aspect of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely why I'm into it. I don't know why everybody else has joined the group. I know that they love the paranormal and whatnot, but I'm just a history buff. I just love history so much. So definitely that's why I started the group too, on top of being interested in the paranormal.
Now, what is your position in the group?
I started the group. I'm the founder.
So this is all your baby?
Yep.
Have you had any experiences, anything like that? What brought you I guess, to the point where you wanted to start one?
I was doing it for a while in high school just for fun. But to be honest with you, it was just something I wanted to do more seriously and not just for fun. And I did want to travel to some of these bigger locations like the asylums and the Civil War Force. And I wanted to just, take it to a whole nother level, basically. So this is why I started the Tri-City Ghost Hunters, and so far, I mean, it's been great, and we've definitely helped a lot of people out in restoring their buildings, and it's just been a lot of fun.
So how do you help restore them? You say you go out and speak at different places to raise money?
We we do like presentations at libraries across Michigan, but we also, every time we go to these places, like I said, we seek these places out specifically because they're historical places. So we'll pay whatever fee they're charging for the ghost hunt, which in turn will help them to build up their location.
That's cool.
I mean, we've dished out quite a bit of money. I want to say like into the thousands of dollars, just going to different places and donating our money. So,
that's really cool too. As somebody who started a group as well, I know what it's like to have to, I guess, be the financer of everything that you're doing and everything that the group's doing. So I feel your pain.
Well, I think it just drives me like crazy when you come across these people and for example, you show interest in investigating their location, and then they automatically assume that you are like gonna go in there and destroy things, or you go into cemeteries and desecrate graves. I mean, they think just because you're into the paranormal that you're like a bad person, but that's not necessarily true.
No, I agree, and it's like it makes you wonder what people have went in there before you and what they've done to make these people think that way.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, I've done everything in my power to prove to people otherwise, and I know like other people in the group have definitely set a professional example, but to be honest, you know, there is so many people out there who just assume that we are, you know, not a reputable group, we are not professional, but that's not the case. I mean, you can ask anybody. I mean, anyone who we've gone into their home or their business, they will tell you otherwise.
Now, can you tell me about some of your cases?
Sure.
What would be, I guess, your favorite that you've been on?
Well, my favorite case that we've done is we investigated the SS City of Milwaukee and the USCGC, or U.S. Coast Guard cutter Acacia.
Oh, wow.
Those are both in Manistee, Michigan, and they are ships. And I'm just crazy about ships, so I thought that those were the most fun investigations we've been on, because we had room with those ships for like 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
And it was so much fun, and we did get a lot of really good evidence. I mean, there were times I left like a voice recorder in the room, and I would leave the room, you would hear me leave the room, and then I would get a response.
Really?
Yep.
I know there was one place that we were at, and it was, I want to say it's almost a fluke that we actually got in, but there was one area that had a lot of activity, and this was office buildings. It was for an old college, and we put the recorder in, it was in a bathroom. The security there had actually called us to come in, and we had to like fight for the rights to go in and do it, you know, through the college. But
right.
The campus police were like freaking out. I mean, they refused to do some of their rounds. They wouldn't go out to a different section, you know, at a certain time of night because they were scared. And there was one bathroom in particular. Well, it was just us and the one officer on duty that night. And we had, you know, we checked everything out, went through, and you know, we put a recorder in the bathroom, and we all left the building, locked it up. We had, you know, recorders in several places, you know, in the area, and just wanted to lock it up and kind of get like a base reading. Well,
yeah.
You know, after the hour, like, we all went outside. We like ate pizza. We ordered pizza from Domino's down the street. You know, we just kind of stayed outside. After the hour, we went back in. You know, went on about our business. Well, when we checked that hour of audio, I mean, there were people running up and down the hallways. You would hear screaming. The bathroom stalls were slamming shut. The water was turning off and on. It was a pretty interesting hour of audio, and it was nonstop for like the entire hour.
You know, I love that kind of evidence when you know that nobody was in the room, you leave the room, whatever, and then you get this really great piece of evidence, and it just speaks for itself, you know?
Yeah. What methods do you guys take? What way do you...
Definitely... I'm sorry, what was your question?
What methods do you personally use with your group?
We are very scientific. We depend on a lot of equipment, and I don't want to say so much personal experiences. I mean, we kind of get a feel, you know, for what's going on or whatever in the location, but we definitely are dependent on our equipment. We have a wide variety of equipment, from static cams to thermometers to audio recorders. I mean, motion sensors, you name it, we probably have it. So we do depend a lot on the equipment. We don't tend to use psychics or anything like that.
That's good.
We had that before in the group, but we never really found it very useful, so we kind of did away with that and focused more just on the equipment and see, you know, what kind of feelings we get from the, not in a psychic sense, but I mean, you know, just, are we having personal experiences? Are they coinciding with the evidence that we're catching on our equipment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of investigating that we do.
Do you get into Ouija boards or anything like that?
No, I mean, that's something I did maybe in high school, but I definitely don't do that with the group.
Now,
and, you know, there's kind of a running joke with the Ouija board thing. It's because everybody thinks that they're so evil. I just think that they are a game, you know, so I wouldn't take it seriously anyways, even if we did have it with us.
Okay. That's a like and unalike most, I guess, answers that I've gotten. Most people say they don't take it because it would open up doorways into that home. I've heard that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I honestly just think it's a game, and I don't buy into the Ouija board is evil. It's just cardboard. And, but you know, everybody's got a different opinion on stuff, and we just need to respect that. And
yeah, I had sisters on my show before, and they actually wrote a book with every word being written by the Ouija board. Imagine how long that took. One letter at a time.
Yeah, that does seem interesting, though. I mean, I definitely am interested in these, like, I don't know what they're called, like legends or whatever, but I'm interested in them. You know, it's very possible. There was one time, way back long ago, when I was investigating with this old group that I used to be a part of, just in high school.
Uh-huh.
And we were just walking around near the cemetery, and we saw this odd formation up in the sky. I don't know what it was, but it was probably your typical UFO, like it looked like a hovercraft, honestly. But was it a, you know, hovercraft? I don't know.
Was it an alien? You know?
I don't know about that, but, you know, I try to be open-minded. I can't say one way or the other. I'm the same way, honestly, with ghosts. I don't know if they exist or not. Based on my evidence, I would say yes, but I'm not going to say one way or the other. I mean, I guess I won't know really until I die.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How do you really feel about ghosts? What are they, you know, according to your personal beliefs?
I think that they're just energy. Maybe people, they come back because they have unfinished business, they were miserable in their past life, or they were happy in their past life, and they just want to complete something that they didn't get the chance to complete while they were living. So I think that's basically all that they are, or maybe those spirits who had pain in their past life. For example, those, like Asylum patients, maybe they were so miserable in their past life, you know, and they just couldn't cope with it then, and they just don't feel like anything ever got resolved. And And that's just what I basically think that spirits are, is just people who have unresolved issues. But I do think that there can be demonic spirits. I don't know if I have ever encountered any of them, but I'm not going to rule that out either, because I know for a fact that people on my team have encountered things like that. So,
really? From investigations that you've been on as well, or from previous groups?
Unfortunately, I was not at the investigation where they were dealing with a demon. I took a little group hiatus for a while because of school, but from what they tell me, it was very active and the spirit was very malicious. So,
really?
Yeah.
What kind of things happened?
Just people would get, like, injured. They would get scratched. There would be growls and, like, evil voices and all sorts of stuff. People would get really sick that were living in the household.
Did you get any, like, really cool evidence from that one?
I think it was more personal experience more than anything. I don't think, to my knowledge, that we really captured anything on recorders or anything, but I do believe that it was more of personal experiences. So, in a sense, we got great personal experiences, yes. I mean, if that's considered a form of evidence, I'm not really sure. You can't really show it to anybody, but the people who did experience it, and there was more than one, I know, they can, testify to it or whatever.
Wow.
So, I mean, if there's more than one person saying that something happened, I have more of a tendency to believe it rather than if it's just one person saying, oh, I saw this or experienced this, because, if people are in two different areas and they don't know what's going on with the other person, and they have a similar experience or something crazy happen, I don't know. I kind of believe them.
Do you get into the, I guess it would be like more of a group hypnosis type of deal, almost. All of the group is saying they felt this. How much of it was their adrenaline? How much of it, was getting caught in the moment? I think you as a director, or as the person that started, you got to filter through all that.
Right, and I mean, we've had the team members who are in a group, we've had them with us for the past 4 years. And
that's good.
Nobody's really an overzealous person. Everybody's really level-headed. So I do, when somebody does tell me that something happens, I do have a tendency to believe them. It's on my team. Other teams now, I don't know, because I need to know how people operate. I need to know what their cognitive levels are, et cetera. So,
how long have you been around? How long has this group been doing this?
I've been doing it for several years. Both my parents are into it, but our group, Tri-City Ghost Hunters, has been around for 4 years.
That's cool. That 4 years,
I can't believe.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just said I just can't believe it. It's been quite a while now, and I just didn't realize that we had been around for 4 years. I mean, quite an accomplishment.
How active has your group been? Like, how many a month would you say?
Well, our group is a very active group. I don't know specifically how many months we've been active. I mean, we've been active all the way up to the 4th year, but...
No, I mean, how many investigations a month do you go on?
Oh, well, we used to go, I don't know exactly how many. It just really depends on the time of year. So in the summer, we'd have a tendency to do more. It could be maybe 2, 3 a month in the summertime, but in the colder months, we have a tendency to slow down, and we kind of postpone things until, when it's warmer. So.
Yeah, I think the busiest my group was, it was probably like a 6-7 month stretch where we were doing 2 a month, and it was just like it was trying to get a whole group of people to juggle work at this and going through evidence was very difficult.
Yeah, so exactly. So that's why like we have a tendency also to just take little breaks here and there. We try not to overload ourselves because it is a lot of work going through the evidence. But, you know, at the same time, it's a lot of fun when we do have stuff going. I really enjoy when we get to do presentations, and those are not investigations, but they are something I enjoy doing. I enjoy speaking and teaching people about what we do, and just getting to really get into the history and tell people about the places that we went and what's happened there.
Now, what do you do during these presentations? What do you present? I know you go to, like, you're raising money for certain places. Do you focus on, like, you know, if you were, you know, at, like, Insane Asylum, you know, are you talking about the asylum itself? You know, what is it that you're really presenting? Or are you doing more on your group?
We present our group, of course, and what we do, and basically our mythology or whatever, and then we talk about our evidence that we've captured and where we captured it, and that's when we can really get into the history, like say, oh, we got this at the asylum. This asylum was built in this time period, and they've had X amount of patients there. Or we'll talk about the Civil War forts, and we'll say, you know, when we went to Fort Wayne, this is what happened at this fort. This is where we captured this piece of evidence. So we really just try to talk a lot about the history in our group and just try to educate people on what it is that we do and show people that, you know, paranormal groups can be trusted. They're not bad. People who are involved with the paranormal are not bad. And we also talk about any upcoming events if people can join them or not.
What about, like, cryptozoology or anything like that? Do you get into, like, the Bigfoot hunting and all that stuff, too?
Our group does not really do that kind of hunting, but as a personal interest, I'm fascinated by that. I got the opportunity to meet Josh Gates not that long ago.
Really?
And it was just great talking to him about all his hunts when he went to, like, Chernobyl and all the other places he went all over the world and all these creatures that he tries to find. And so I am personally interested in that. But as far as hunting it with my team, we've never taken that, we've never, like, tried that out. But that's not to say in the future we would never maybe try it out. But, you know, we just take it one day at a time, you know.
Why haven't you branched out? Is it not something that, you know, the group has wanted to do? Just, hey, for fun, let's try it out type of thing? Or are you the only one that's really got the interest?
We've just never really talked about it as a group, and before we do anything, I tend to want to know, you know, is the group up for this or not? Because I don't want to just be, oh, hey guys, come on, we're gonna go hunt Bigfoot today out in the backyard. You know what I mean? So I really like want to just get like a read on the rest of the group and see if they want to do stuff like that. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know where I would go to hunt these creatures because the places, or Michigan, I mean, I know we have legends and stuff, but I just don't know of any that well to go hunt them. And secondly, at the moment, I don't have enough money to go overseas and hunt them. So it's also a money issue at this point.
Yeah.
Not only the fact that I don't know all of them or enough about them, but, you know, it would cost a lot of money to go overseas because according to Destination Truth, a lot of these creatures are in like the African countries or, you know, all these strange areas over there. So yeah,
well, we got a lot here in the U.S. now. I think doesn't Michigan have a one or two little legends about some cryptozoology creatures?
Well, there's a whole book on it. Yeah,
I mean, we have
a lot. We have a lot, but I don't know the legends well enough to go hunt them. But you got me thinking.
Yeah, see, now that you're thinking about it, there's probably like everybody in your group is probably like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that, but I'm afraid to bring it up, you know.
Well, I mean, nobody should be embarrassed around me. I mean, I'd be willing to do it. It's just I'd have to do my research, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever dealt? I know you said, you know, you weren't in with the demonic in the investigation where something demonic happened, but have you ever been to an investigation where you were really scared?
Oh my gosh, there was 2 times that I did feel helpless, I guess you could say. The first time I went to Fort Wayne, that's a Civil War fort in Detroit, and Metro Paranormal puts on annual ghost tours. So if anybody wants to check that out further, the website's hauntedfortwaynedetroit.com. Anyway, I was standing on the stairs of one of the Sally ports, and I heard what sounded like a wooden 2x4 get whipped across the room.
Oh, wow.
And it was so loud, and it was so dark down there, and I knew nobody was down there because we were all, like, there was not that many of us, and we were all scattered about, but I just knew nobody was down there, and I just got this really uncomfortable feeling like I don't want to be around here. Like, I heard that big loud bang, I was like, you know, what would happen if we were in there, you know? So I did feel uncomfortable there. I said, I'm not going down there. There's no way in heck I'm going down there because I just didn't feel comfortable. The second time, I was at the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, and I was on the 4th floor, and we were actually doing a ghost hunt event with the TAPS team.
Oh, yeah?
And, yeah. And we were on the 4th floor, and A.B. Bruni was showing us her laser grid, and there was several people all like clustered at one end of the floor. And I had wanted to go across the hall because I wanted to tell Tango about something that we thought we saw. Well, I went over to the door, and I tried to open it, and I just couldn't get the door open. It was, like, completely locked. Like, the handle was not budging. And I was all by myself on that end of the asylum, and everybody was away from me. It was dark. I had no flashlight, so I just figured I'd go over to the door, open it, and go to the other side, no big deal. But I couldn't get out. It was like I was locked into that ward.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, that was really crazy. I mean, I don't tend to have too many paranormal personal experiences. I've got some great evidence and stuff, but I'm not really a sensitive person. So when I had that experience, that was just really cool to me. I mean, it was a little creepy at the time, yes, but...
Now, is that one of those situations where like, all the hair on the back of your neck stood up, and you're just like, oh, my gosh, I know something is behind me right now, and I'm locked in here, and...
Well, I was just kind of like, guys, the door won't open, but they were, like, way the heck down at the other end of the ward, so, I mean, I don't even know if they could hear me, but I just wanted my flashlight, then I can tell you that.
Oh, you didn't have a flashlight with you?
No, I thought I would just go down the hall, go through the doors, cross over, tell Tango what we were seeing or whatever, but that was just crazy. I mean, the door was completely locked. There was no budging it. I was trying with all my might to open that door, and it would not budge. That was... Do you ever,
since then, have you braved going somewhere without a flashlight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it didn't...
Didn't scare you that much?
Creepy. It didn't scare me. Like, I don't know if something's wrong with me or not, but it doesn't tend to, like, really scare me. It was just more of, like, unsettling, like, okay, why can't I get out of here? And if I can't get out of here, how am I ever going to get out of here, you know? Because that asylum is huge. I mean, what? I'm not going to go jump on a window out of the 4th floor and kill myself. So it was just more unsettling, I think, than anything. But at the same time, it was like, wow, this is really cool, because I never have experiences like this.
Let me ask you, Nicole, you know, you say you really never have experiences like this. You know, you're not really big into the personal experience. What made you want to get into the paranormal? What about it really caught your, I guess, what made you catch the bug?
Well, both my parents are into the paranormal. They're both interested in it, and
So did you just get into it just because, you know, they kind of were into it, and you were just like, why not?
It wasn't so much a why not, as it was just kind of developed my interest, and ever since I was a child, I also loved history too, so it's no surprise, you know, the two are kind of linked for me. But when I was little, I don't even know how old I was, like 7, 8 maybe, I was like laying in my bed upstairs in my parents' house, and I heard clear as day a man say my name, and it was right close to my ear. And that was like one of the only personal experiences I've had. I thought it was my brother joking with me, because back then he was a hellion. So I really, honest to God, thought it was him messing with me. But then I came downstairs and I saw that my dad was sleeping on the chair and my brother was sleeping on the couch. And I was just like, what the hell just happened? You know? It was just crazy.
Oh, wow.
And then I had another experience shortly after my grandfather died. I was laying in my bed, and I don't know, I was just overly emotional because of the death and everything. And I pulled my blankets over my head, and I was just, like, thinking about, like, oh, my God, like, what's my grandfather's, like, in this room right now? And then all of a sudden through the blankets, I saw my lamp turn on, and that's never happened to me ever. I've had that lamp for years and years and years. It never did that.
So the lamp turned on by itself?
Yeah, and it only did that very shortly after my grandfather died.
Wow.
So that was another one of the very few personal experiences I've had, and I think those combined just kind of made me more interested, you know, to see what was out there, and just kind of get more into it, get more involved, and kind of give back to the community in a whole different way.
Did you keep the lamp?
Yeah, I did.
I probably would have got rid of it.
I just recently threw it out, but it wasn't because I was freaked out by it. I just didn't have anywhere to put it, so I just kind of was sick of it, you know, sitting around, so I just kind of threw it out. But I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have.
I have a story I want to share with you. I was man, I want to say like 13, around 13. We lived in this house that it was like on a graveyard, right? It's just a small one. I mean, there was probably like a you know, maybe 10 graves around the house. But the house, I would say, had a lot of activity in it. And there was one point where I was with a buddy of mine, and we were in my bedroom, and I had one of those like coin separator. You know, it's like a money bank thing. You'd throw your change in, and it like little motor turns on, and it separates all the money into the slots. Well, I knew the batteries were out because I never, you know, I just had it. I never used it because, you know, 13-year-olds never have any money.
Right.
So I was, you know, the motor starts turning on. We're like, well, that's crazy, you know. So we go over and check, and sure enough, the batteries are out, you know, and we put it back, and all of a sudden you hear like a penny, like bling, zzz, and it goes back down, and we go over there, and sure enough, you know, it's still no batteries, you know, it's just a few minutes later, and there's a penny in it now, and we threw it away right at that point. Yeah. We just took it and we trashed it to pieces and threw it away. We were like, all right, none of this crap.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine for a 13-year-old, it's really freaky.
Oh yeah, that house. I had some crazy stories with that house. but that penny machine, or the coin machine turning on, I don't think I've owned one since. It's you know, most people have different kind of, you know, scarring events.
Right.
Guess that would be one of mine. I want to get to some of these EVP. You sent me a whole lot of them. Are you who I was talking with online, on the email, or was that somebody from your group?
I know I was talking to you most of the time. I don't know if anybody else was on there. Okay,
well, I have a lot of EVP. I just, if you sent them, then I can just ask you random questions about them, and you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I know what the EVPs, I know what most of them are.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking.
All right. Let's see. I see some of these from the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, and I wanna play some. Let's see. I got Get Out EVP. Is that a good one?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good
Definitely.
one. All right. I'm gonna move my little microphone down here by my computer. All right. Let's hear it.
Are you the one Lily is afraid of? Do you Dr. Jacob down here at all? One municipal water? Team soldier?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, there was 4 or 5 female investigators. We were in the original kitchen of the asylum. To my knowledge, we were the only ones down there. I know for sure we were the only ones in that room.
Uh-huh.
And we had the recorder just sitting on a chair. Well, I can't remember how many questions now were asked, but like 3 or 4 questions were asked, and then you hear that really like angry "get out."
Yeah, there was one that sounded really like a yeah, you know, like it was yelling.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't hear that at the time.
Yeah.
The recorder sitting on the chair, and after going through the evidence or whatever, I heard that, and it really it doesn't sit very well with some other people in our group, because a lot of people in our group think that is just really hard to listen to. It creeps them out, but there is a story of a man that is said to haunt that area of the asylum, and he's supposedly guarding a child. Whether the child is hostage or not, I don't know. I think that might be the case, but
oh, wow.
That's the rumor in that area, and that's where we got the voice of that man yelling "get out," or
okay.
What we think to be a man.
Okay, I have another one here. It says, "Help us." You want to set that up?
Well, we have 2. There's one called the Strange EVP at the Asylum, or Strange EVP from the Asylum, and that is the original with everybody talking. And then that Help Us one is where I removed all the human voices, and you can hear that was at a different frequency.
All right, let's get there. I'll play it again. That's crazy.
I know, well, it is crazy because I put that recording into Adobe, and I thought I heard something strange. So, like I said, I removed all the human voices, and that's what was left. I mean, clearly that's not a person if all the human voices are removed, you know? But that's 2 words right there.
And I have is there a doctor here? Yes.
Oh, God, I love that. Oh, no, the other one.
Okay.
I don't know if you have it. It's called, Is the Doctor Down Here? That one is really great.
Yeah, I have both of those. Which one should I play first?
You can play the one, save the best for last. You can play the one you were just going to play.
Okay. This is the doctor. Is there a doctor here? Yes.
Is the doctor here?
Oh, wow.
Do you work in the kitchen here? Or pharmacy?
Say that again.
The next couple EVPs that you're going to play from there, including that one, those were all captured in the original kitchen, in the same area where the Get Out was captured.
Okay. And I think that's the is there a doctor down here? Or is the doctor down here? That says on it captured in the original kitchen.
Yep.
I want to listen to this. Is the doctor here? Yes again. That's creepy.
Is the doctor here?
I know, it's crazy, because I know who was in that room, and I know that it's like echoing off the walls, you know, and it doesn't even seem like the people that are in that room are, like, their voices aren't echoing that much, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, now here's the good one. I think this is the last one I have from the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Is the doctor down here?
If you're here with us, can you walk past or wave your hand in front of the green light, please, so we know that you're here? It won't hurt
Oh wow! So the is the doctor down here wasn't you?
No, no, and that just was crazy, because that doesn't even sound like you hear, obviously, the other people in the room, their voices are echoing, but it just has, like, a different sound to it. I can't even explain it.
It's almost like it's down the hallway. Like yelling.
Yeah.
I want to play that again, if you don't mind.
If you're here with us, can you walk past or wave your hand in front of the green light, please, so we know that you're here? It won't hurt.
Now it was that wasn't audible at all. It almost sounds like it interrupted. You know, I guess it's you speaking.
I didn't hear that at all when I was there, and there was 4 other people in the room that are witnesses. You know, they can tell you too that we didn't hear that at the time. So.
Oh wow! Let's see. What's another one we could play? We got a Delta College investigation, S-Wing, and Help Me Crying.
Yep. Do you want me to give you the backstory on that?
Yeah. Let's hear about it.
Okay. The college called our team in to investigate. We investigated the S-Wing because that's the most haunted area in the school. There's actually supposed to be a man down there who's haunting the area, and he was a former teacher. Anyways, so they closed the school down for us. I mean, the doors were completely locked. We had security personnel there that was guarding the doors and whatnot. And my father's a member of our team too, so he was investigating with some of our older members. He was with 2 other people. They were in the basement. Then there was 3 other members that were up on the 2nd floor doing an investigation. Then there was a couple other people just scattered, but nobody was on the basement. Nobody was in the basement except for the 3 older members. What the EVP sounds like is a young girl crying and saying, "Help me."
Ooh.
And it just is so out of place because, you know, nobody else was in that school except for us and the security, and we were all scattered. Yes, we were scattered in the school, but this EVP was taken in the basement, and there was only 3 older investigators down there. So it doesn't sound like any of them, because 2 of them were males, and one of them was a woman. So.
All right, let's hear it.
Give us a sign of your presence.
You want to play that again?
Give us a sign of your presence.
Now, what's that that high-pitched squeal?
I think it's crying, to be honest.
Like a whale? Like, ah!
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Wow.
And, it's just so out of place, like I said, and obviously we didn't hear these because if we did, we would have said, what was that, or, something like that, but they weren't heard at the time that we recorded them. It was after we actually went through, and we're very good about tagging, too, so that's always good.
Let's see. Footsteps at a residential investigation.
Yeah, you can play that. That's a good one. Do you want me to give you the backstory on that, too?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one of my friends, she was saying that she was experiencing some paranormal activity in her home, so there was 3 female investigators. We came out, and we were conducting an investigation. There was 4 of us. And my friend completely left, so she was the only one who lived in the home. She left, and we went into the spare bedroom, which was a carpeted room, and we all sat down and left the recorder running. What it sounds like is in the kitchen area, like somebody is wearing like these really big heavy boots and is stomping their way on over to us.
Ooh.
But I can guarantee that nobody at that time was in the home. The doors were locked. There was nobody in there.
Not even you.
And there was. We were. I mean, other than us, nobody was in there. We were in the spare bedroom, sitting on our butt. No way for us to. None of us were walking around. So.
Okay, here it is.
Are you the one who turned the stove burners on?
Man, it almost sounds like a dog barking.
Yep, there's no dog there either.
I mean,
there's only a cat.
Just like it's like so loud and hitting. It's almost like boo, boo, boo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep, there was a cat there, just a small little kitten at the time.
Well, it didn't come from her.
Nope.
Oh, let's see. I got a ma'am straight ahead.
Oh, yeah.
From an art gallery?
Yep, that was taken in downtown Bay City, Michigan. We investigated what used to be an old bank, and there was, once again, all female investigators. There was 4 of us, and we were just talking, having normal conversation, and you hear what sounds like a man's voice with almost an English or Irish-sounding accent say, "Ma'am, straight ahead."
Oh, wow. Okay, let's give that a listen. Yeah, I'm going to play that one again so everybody can hear it. It's right behind. It's almost like ma'am is first, and then you guys start talking, and then straight ahead as you pause. It almost sounds like they're saying more behind it, but you can't make it out.
Yeah, I know.
Creepy.
Yeah, that one just for me is like, that one's a really great one because it's so distinctly a male voice. I mean, and it's a totally different accent than what we have. I mean, that's definitely from Europe, you know?
Yeah. Wow. I think we played all the ones you sent me. That's really cool. As active as you guys are, what would be, I guess, a highlight of what you've done as a group?
As far as capturing evidence or just in general?
I think it might go as both. Throw me both of them.
Okay. Well, as far as evidence goes, a highlight, every time we get an EVP, it's a highlight. Especially those very clear ones. And also, we have some video evidence that we captured and two shadow men we captured on camera.
Mm-hmm. I saw one of the pictures.
Yep. Those are on our YouTube. You just go to youtube.com/TCGHS, and there's video and photographic evidence. So those are some highlights, because you don't capture shadow men every day in pictures.
No, not at all.
And I think as far as, other things that we've done, like getting to meet and investigate with the TAPS team was really great because, they are experts in the field, so we got pointers from them. And I think every time we do presentations, to me, that's just what I love doing. And I love it equally as investigating because I really do love the whole aspect of enlightening people on the field. I love talking about the history. It's fun for me, and just getting people involved.
Do you remember your first EVP?
I'm trying to think. I do.
I mean, you kind of grew up with it, so I mean, it makes it tougher.
Yes, I do remember it, but it wasn't with the team I'm currently with now.
Uh-huh.
Back in high school, like I said, I was ghost hunting for fun, I guess you could say. And I would go to cemeteries. I know I don't do that anymore or whatever. But at the time, we were in the cemetery, and we would be talking into recorders. And we got a strange voice on the recorder. I truthfully don't know where that EVP is now. But when I heard it, and I first heard it, I freaked out, like, in a good way. Like, I was overjoyed. I immediately hurry up and cleaned it up with my program that I had, and I took it downstairs, and I showed my mom and dad, and we listened to it probably 20 times on repeat, It was I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was definitely exciting.
Yeah, when where I'm originally from, we had an old prison that was close, and I know people who listen to the show often hear me mention it all the time. But it was an old prison, and it was, we were taking a ghost hunting class, my cousin and I, just off of a whim. I mean, this is how this all started. He had to take he was writing a paper in one of his history classes on tourism, and he, I guess, decided to do paranormal tourism. So we decided to take a ghost hunting class just to check it out. So, we're not buying any of it. We think they're all loony and, making jokes. So we were like, okay, whatever, and we got the recorders and we're walking around, and we're only halfway serious, and all of a sudden the voice comes back at us, and we look at each other, and we're like, oh my God, and then after that we started a group and got the radio show sometime after, and I mean, we caught the bug, the fire. But it's that first one.
A lot. I think this is kind of crazy, but I feel like I've been ghost hunting before it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like everybody and their brother and mother and cousin and dad are all starting groups, and that's fine, whatever. But I think some people do it for fame and fortune and thrill seeking, and then some people, like me, just do it for not only fun, but to give back to the community in a different way, strange way maybe, but still giving back, and for the educational aspect and the historical aspect.
You ever make your way? Have you ever made your way towards Pittsburgh, PA?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we've never Never as a group, but we've definitely, I've traveled that way by myself. I also went to, oh God, what's the name of that place? Eastern State Penitentiary. I went there with the other co-founder of our team, and we were checking that out just for a historical tour or whatever. And we were kind of doing a little bit of EVP sessions and whatnot because there weren't too many guests there. It was broad daylight and whatever, but we kind of went off on our own and we're doing EVP sessions, but then I ended up having a kidney stone attack and needing to leave and go to the hospital. So
you know that old thing.
Yeah, well, it didn't necessarily ruin my trip because that was a place I always wanted to go, and it was just as great as it seemed.
There's a place, I think that's in Philly, Eastern State, if I'm not confused or mistaken.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh, which would be a closer drive to you, I know some people that actually own an old elementary school, and they claim very much that the kids are still in the school. It was the subject.
Do you know the name of it?
Right off the top of my head, I will have to look it up. But I can't email it to you. I know we've had him on the show. It was probably a year ago. But he actually owns a school, and when they do their ghost tours and stuff like that, they don't even have to bring all the big equipment. Just a basic recorder, candle lit. They take it back to the basics, so there's not a lot of electricity involved. And kids running up and down the hall, slamming doors, bouncing balls, a whole lot going on. And I can get you his information. I think that you guys would have a ball there.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I mean, in spite of recent events and stuff, though, the whole investigating elementary schools is kind of a touchy subject, But it's definitely interesting to think that there's still those children who haven't moved on. It's almost kind of sad, but
yeah. But I know he takes good care of the property and treats it with respect. And I, like I said, I think that it's something that your group particularly kind of jumped out that you might enjoy. I can get you his information.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that a lot of paranormal teams are definitely respectful to property. I just think that there's a punk here and there who make it kind of hard for a reputation, but I don't think the majority of groups are like that at all.
They're always the ones that get in the magazines and the newspapers, too. The loud, obnoxious ones that destroy things.
Oh, I know. I know.
If you could, let's say I have some listeners in Michigan and they want to get up with you. What steps should they take? What's your website? All that kind of stuff.
Well, they can contact us on Facebook.com/TCGHS.Michigan. You can email us at tcghs.michigan@gmail.com. My phone number is 989-714-7281. But also, you can just Google either TCGHS or Tri-City Ghost Hunter Society. And I was actually surprised because I was just, for the fun of it, Googling that today just to see what would pop up, and there's quite a bit of stuff on there. So
there you go.
If you have any trouble remembering, the specific addresses, just go to Google and type in TCGHS, and you will eventually find us.
Put some time in it, you'll get it. I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. I will get you that information. And I'd love to have you back sometime as you do more investigations and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I had fun, too.
All right. My guest is Nicole Beauchamp. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
All right. From TCGHS, the Tri-City Ghost Hunter Society, right?
Yep.
All righty. Thank you very much, and we'll talk again.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. I want to thank everybody else for listening. I hope it was enjoyable. I know I haven't had a lot of EVP action going on here lately, so I figured you would enjoy it. I always love it. So whenever I get a hold of a group, that's got EVP evidence and stuff like that, I try to get them on as soon as possible. I want to thank you all for listening. Until next week, don't be afraid, only believe.